Right, there we go. Right, I did do a video last night when I was slightly tipsy. I've never done this before, but I did just delete it. So it was me, it wasn't the police. I have chosen to take it down because I think what I was trying to say last night is when you've got that thing rattling around in your mind, you know, and you don't really have the words for it. So now, yes, I'm there. I'm firing. Because, and here's the thing, this whole council case goes back almost 5.5 years now. It was March or April 2009 it first kicked off, although me and my mate couldn't have had a clue what we were getting into, obviously. We were just after getting him a receipt and a licence for his van for the 1,600 and something quid it is he pays every year and gets no services for. However, something's always been bugging me, especially since the police started off with all this sort of supposed harassment and intimidation of mine. Because let's face it, council officer harassing my mate yesterday. You know, the police have harassed me. Police Crime Commissioner has threatened to arrest me. And basically, initially I asked 2 questions coming from about 2010 onwards, which was show me the proof the council can charge for trading licences, and where's the money gone? You know, obviously since then it's turned into, as well, why are HDC charging over 200 quid for a warrant, court summons, which costs 3 quid, and obviously why haven't the police investigated anything? And those 4 questions never had an answer to. I don't care what the police say now, I don't care what they might say in the future. It has never ever been explained to me why the police refuse to investigate the council. Now, there are varying opinions, obviously, as to why they would do that, why they would protect them. But I'm just saying, I've never actually had a reason. So, I got to thinking about that, and all this stuff, the coppers turning up at my door, and I never know what the agenda is going to be, and threatening to arrest me, and saying I'm not allowed to speak to the Chief Constable, I'm not allowed to speak to the Police Crime Commissioner, I'm not allowed to speak to Jonathan Ginogly anymore, even though I've not been charged or anything. And if you watched the video the other day, you'll know they can't even issue a caution properly, for God's sake. And you know what? This is all their fault. Seriously, I'm seriously not trying to shift blame or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if any one of them, starting from the council, had answered even one of my questions, or if any kind of investigation had taken place, you know, even if they had just put the missing money down to something, you know, even if they'd come out with some bullshit excuse, I probably wouldn't have known the difference. And that would have just kind of stopped me in my tracks, but well, it's a bit late for them to do it now. So yeah, this is all their fault actually, because all this harassment and intimidation I was supposed to have carried out wouldn't have happened if they'd done their jobs. And I think that's really what's been bugging me. And I'm going to make a complaint against, well, I have made a complaint against this Detective Sergeant Cook for harassment and distress, because he has, quite frankly, and he's said things that he shouldn't have said, in my opinion, and you know, they're sort of keeping me hanging there. Oh, well, you're going to get arrested, you're going to get arrested. Which is fine. if I was a normal guy who just sent those emails because I didn't like the council or a council officer, then yes, this might be harassment. You know, I might deserve to get arrested. But at the end of the day, this council officer in particular charges in excess of 200 quid for a £3 court summons. And that's, you know, and you know the rest. And the council officer allowed to go down and intimidate my friend, and the police crime commissioners allowed to threaten to arrest me even though he's got no powers of arrest, purely because I'm trying to expose corruption. I mean, that was the essence of the letter, was that if you don't stop complaining, we're going to arrest you. But you've got no powers of arrest, mate. And I've got an FOI request in pending to find out about that, actually. So we'll see exactly what he hasn't got. But so it goes on. You know, the council have done nothing, the coppers have done nothing, no one has done their jobs here, no questions have been answered. And they're having a go at me for getting abusive. Well, I was perfectly polite in the start, until I realised about 2.5 years in that you were just shutting every single door in my face and you weren't the slightest bit interested in 30 years worth of missing taxpayers' cash. So, really, if the Chief Constable wants me arrested, I suggest he comes around here and does it himself. And just before he does, he can explain why he's not the slightest bit interested in 30 years of missing money, and why the council is still actually stealing money, still charging for licences even though they've got no proof, and still taking money off traders completely illegally, yeah, and the police are letting all this go on even though the council know they're breaking the law, and it's quite disgusting. And so once in a while I might lose my temper. But as I say, they're allowed to threaten us, you know, that's, yeah, standard practice, I think, judging by what we're seeing going on around me. Anyway, so as I say, Simon Parr wants me arrested. He can come here and do it himself, and he can explain, he can actually answer a few questions for once, because no one ever has. And this entire case, really, is entirely their fault, because they've failed consistently to do their jobs, and they've let the public down massively. And I think maybe, you know, that's just a point I'm trying to get across to them. Anyway, so as I say, I shan't be deleting another video, but I just wanted to slightly rearrange the one I did last night. Right.